Hi, welcome back to another video. So as you have seen from the title and the thumbnail, today we are going to be talking about 26 anticipated book releases for 2026. Except this is going to be part 1 because I don't think the latter half of 2026 a lot of the books are announced yet, and some of the books that I'm going to be talking about, they don't even have a book cover, they don't even have a synopsis. So I will repopulate them in my part 2 video. So in part 1 today, I'm going to be talking about 20 or 21 books today, and the remaining 5 will be reserved for my latter half, also known as my part 2 video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, the first book, we're going to go by publication order. So I have actually nothing in January, which is great. And then in February, the first one that we're going to be talking about on Goodreads, it says that it's supposedly expected on 3rd February, which is The Lies That Summoned the Night. It gave me this Savage song vibes. So I'm just going to read out the blurb to you. From the art of liars, the monsters came. Ever since art gave life to bloodthirsty shadows, creative works have been forbidden, and the talented creators sacrificed to the sinless, the immortal royals who feast on human blood in return for their protection. Inanna's secret storytelling nearly got her killed once, and she'll be damned if she's ever caught again. With a bounty on her head, she keeps to the city's dark underbelly, where she earns a meager living from thrill-seeking patrons desperate to hear her illicit fiction. Until Dominic, a shadow being, catches one of her performances. Dominic is a half-sinless monster hunter as fearsome as his prey. But to complete his hunt, he needs an artist to summon the shadows. He needs Inanna. Dominic delivers an ultimatum: serve him or he'll claim her bounty. So she has no choice but to do so until she can betray him. So it's kind of like enemies to lovers is what I'm getting. And okay, the reason why I said that this reminded me of this Savage song was because it's been a while since I read that book, but I believe it's also about monsters, and there's also like music. I believe the main character played the violin or something like that. So this combination of art and music and monsters kind of reminded me of that. I think there are also enemies in this Savage song, like they're on 2 different parts of town, which are like the 2 different sides. So yeah, I've never read anything from this author before, but I am excited, so we shall see. Okay, next book, expected February 17. It is Her Last Breath by Taylor Adams. So Taylor Adams' super popular work, No Exits, has been on my mind for a long time. I believe it's one of the first few thrillers that I've read, and it has left an impression. I think they also had a movie for it, and I watched that as well. So this one is called Her Last Breath. It is about a story of 2 friends who went on a caving expedition. Their lives have differed ever since high school. So Alma is a self-made travel influencer, while Tess is a shy and claustrophobic legal assistant struggling to pay for law school. As they go in, they realize that they're not alone. A stranger who claims to be a fellow caver harasses them. Alma insults the guy and he retaliates. So soon Tess is trapped inside a narrow crawl space, hundreds of feet underground, fighting to stay alive. 24 hours later, Tess is hospitalized and recounting her story of survival. Then the detective shares new and shocking secrets about Alma's past. That's all I know about this, and it's listed as horror as well. Horror, thriller, mystery. So we shall see. Okay, next is Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett, and this author wrote Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Look at the cover, it's so pretty. Oh my god. Okay, it's expected 17 February as well. This is about a woman who runs a cat rescue in 1920s Montreal who turns to a grouchy but charming wizard to help save the shelter. Agnes is a type A manager who is the manager for a cat rescue charity. She is forced to move her cat shelter, and then she realizes that her new landlord is using her shelter as a front for an internationally renowned and thoroughly disreputable magic shop. So this handsome, self-absorbed, irritating, disorganized magician and failed dark lord is Havelock Renard. She doesn't really care about him until she needs his help to save the cat shelter. So I am expecting this to be cozy, so we shall see. I didn't really particularly enjoy Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I think I gave it like maybe 3 or 4, which is still not a bad rating, but it's just not one of my favorites. But I'm hoping that this book will be different in that I will like it more. Next is also still in February, 17 Feb as well, The Sun and the Star Maker by Rachel Griffin. Again, a super beautiful cover. I haven't read any books from this author before, but she wrote The Nature of Witches, which is quite popular. There is this small village called Reverie, nestled deep in the snowy mountains of the Lost Range. and it is beyond the reach of the sun. So Reverie is dependent on the magic of the mysterious star maker. Every morning, he trudges across a glacier and pulls in sunlight over the peaks, providing the village with the light it needs to survive. Aurora grew up on tales of the star maker's magic. Then, on the morning of her wedding, she encounters the star maker in the woods. And the star maker senses this powerful magic within her and demands that she come study under his guidance. And these newfound abilities are tied to the survival of her village, so she has no choice but to go with him to his ice-covered castle at the mountain's peak. So she's there exploring his castle. He has an immortal rabbit for company, and the more their relationship grows. It's young adult, by the way. It sounds very interesting. Basically. Now, 24 February, The Legend of the Nine-Tailed Fox by Katrina Kwan, who wrote Knives, Seasoning and a Dash of Love. And I really enjoyed that story, if I remember correctly. It's about a romance between a nine-tailed fox and a demon hunter who captures her, and then they get banished to the underworld together. He banished her to hell, but she held on to him, so they get dragged down into hell together. Then afterwards, they need to ally with each other to navigate hell and bypass the gods who preside over each circle. Maybe it's gonna follow the 18 levels of hell, then their romance grows from there. This is an adult fiction. I really like Chinese mythology tales and nine-tailed foxes, also demon hunters. I really like that. It's also why I like historical dramas with like these kind of magical elements. So I'm definitely very excited to read about this. Also 24 Feb, And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. This is the second book in the Heartstrings series, the first one being The First Time Caller. First Time Caller, I think I gave it like 3 to 3.5. And Now Back to You is about the side characters' story. Now they have their own book. Jackson Clark and Delilah Stewart are both meteorologists who are competing with each other. So they often run into each other because they're working in the same company. But Jackson can't really seem to stand Delilah. Can't really seem to stand her because he thrives on routine and organization, while Delilah is very spontaneous and loves the adventure out in the field. So then they get partnered against their will to cover the snowstorm of the century. Then they're trying to figure out how to work with each other. So this unlikely partnership then kind of gets them like developing their relationship with each other. Again, another story that I'm interested in. Next is How to Write a Love Story, run out in March. Expected 10 March by Catherine Walsh. Catherine Walsh wrote Holiday Romance. I've read that book by her. Wanted to read Snowed In this Christmas but forgot about it. So next Christmas it shall be. This one is about Kiara, whose father left her with a sprawling estate on the Irish coast, the outline for the finale to his best-selling epic fantasy series that he wanted her to finish, and also writer's block. She then meets Sam Frank Sheridan, who is a fanboy and an editor who is sent from the hot New York publishing house to help her edit the novel, basically. So they have 2 weeks to finish this novel together and also make sure that her father's legacy ends on a good note and then their relationship also develops from there. I love books about books, so this was a no-brainer. I would be very excited to read this. Next is translated fiction. So I think the original was published like in 2007, but the English translation is expected on 19 March. This is The Soul Catchers by Naoko Higashi. It's described for fans of Banana Yoshimoto and Kawaguchi's Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And this is about a story wherein you can come back after death to watch over your loved one. For example, by putting yourself in objects. So for example, in a treasured mug or your mother's hearing aid, a diary, things like that. We follow 11 recently deceased protagonists who find themselves floating in the afterlife, where a nameless ghost offers them one last chance to spend time with their loved ones. That's all I know. The Goodreads rating isn't very good, but I'm quite excited to try this out for myself. Hopefully the translation will be good. I really like Japanese translated fiction with like comforting, heartwarming stories, like For the Coffee Gets Cold, What You're Looking For Is in the Library. So this was kind of like speaking to me in that vein as well. Next, we're in April now, expected 7 April, The Escape Game by Marissa Meyer. Marissa Meyer wrote a lot of books that I like and adore, so I had to put this on the list. This book is a mystery thriller, and I've never read mystery thrillers by this author before. I don't think she has written any before until now. I may be wrong, but yeah, this is about a murder mystery set up in an escape room themed game show. So this contestant was found murdered on set 6 months ago on season 4 of the escape game, and now it is season 5. New contestants are here, and we get introduced to each of the different characters, including Sierra Angelos, the girl who got away with her sister's murder, also everyone believes. But she's here for justice. So she's the sister of the contestant who was found murdered on season 4. So she's here trying to find clues on who actually killed Alicia. I love a good mystery thriller, and it's by an author that I like, so yes. Next is also 7 April, the book Witch by Meg Sheffer, who wrote The Wishing Game, which I didn't really like. I gave it like 2 stars around there, but this one appeals to me, so I'm gonna give it a try. We follow Rainy Much, who is a proud 3rd generation book witch who has a magical umbrella and a feline familiar, and she jumps into and out of novels to fix malicious alterations and rogue heroes. And they live by a strict real people belong in the real world, fictional characters belong in works of fiction. So don't eat, drink or sleep inside a fictional world in case you get part of the story. So falling in love with a fictional character is out of the question, okay? But then, she has been trying not to continue her involvement with the Duke of Chicago, who is a dashing British detective who stars in her favourite mystery series. But then, her beloved grandfather disappears, and a priceless book is stolen, so she needs the Duke's help to solve this mystery. So it has romance, it has mystery, it has magical realism. It sounds like a good recipe, basically. And next, expected 28 April, it's We Burn So Bright by TJ Klune, who wrote The House in the Cerulean Sea. This one, it is fantasy, sci-fi. Basically, we follow our main characters who are husbands, Don and Rodney. The world is ending, and a black hole is coming for Earth, and in a month, everything and everyone they've ever known will be gone. Don and Rodney are in a race against time to make it from Maine to Washington State to take care of some unfinished business before it's all over. On the road, they meet those who refuse to believe death is coming, those who rush to meet it, and also people living their final days as best as they can, with impromptu weddings, bright burning bonfires, shared meals, and new friends. I think it's like a heartwarming kind of story wherein you meet a bunch of different characters and then you get to have some friendships along the way, discover the meaning of life. Heartwarming stories appeal to me. Next is Miss Mabel Goes Back to the Chopping Block, expected 28 April as well, by Jessie Q. Sutanto, who wrote Dial A for Auntie. So this one, we follow a newly divorced housewife who enrolls in culinary school to win back her husband, only to start questioning the strange antics of her classmates. Mabel is 63. Her retirement means that her husband of more than 40 years announcing that he's leaving her for their private chef. So Mabel sets on a quest to win back her husband by going on a cooking class. Then she quickly realizes a culinary school is not Paris but in England, and it's some small village outside of Oxford. Then suddenly her much younger classmate, Gemma, who is the breakout star of the program, stops showing up to class, and then she sets out on a quest to figure out what caused her friend's sudden disappearance. I really like how this author writes older female main characters, and they always have charm and wit to them, and the story is also always very interesting, so I always read whatever Jessie Q. Sutanto comes out, especially if the main character is slightly older. Nothing much for this, but we are now in May. Two for Joy by Susan Dennett, expected 5th May 2026. Susan Dennett wrote Truth Witch, which I read years ago, and then the last book wasn't out yet, so I didn't get to read the rest of the books. I held back, but I would be interested in a new work that she's working on, hence why this is on the list. 12 May 2026, First and Forever by Lynn Painter. As you would probably know, Lynn Painter is one of my favorite authors. This one is a sports romance between a football star and a die-hard fan entangled in a PR stunt. Female main character, Duffy, loves her dad, the family cat, and Minneapolis Coyotes football. She gets booed out of the game and becomes a villain on the internet because she shoved Coyote Carl away when he made a move on her. But everyone else just saw a woman attacking their team's beloved mascot. So she agrees to an interview on a morning show, not expecting a co-guest to join her, which is the Coyotes star tight end. So our main character, basically. He is MVP who gets tasked with damage control to help his team out of their PR nightmare. Then he finds himself in a highly amusing verbal sparring match with a recently wronged fan on live TV. So then he's attracted. The interview goes viral, the public is obsessed with them, and the PR team pushes them to ask Connor to ask Duffy out. Oh no! So Duffy doesn't know that it's a PR stunt? Okay, that's basically the third act confirmed for you already, but I still like the concept of this, and I do like fake dating. I always love fake dating. Another thing that I have nothing much to talk about, 12 May, Love Among Thieves by Katrina Kwan. We follow Adelina, who is a hacker with a heart of gold and a talent for emptying bank accounts. She's an MIT dropout with Robin Hood tendencies. Everything is simple until she targets the wrong man. West is a retired conman turned single dad who catches Adelina in the act. But instead of turning her in, he makes her an offer she can't refuse to help him to pull off an ultimate heist, stealing billions from an Italian crime boss, and then she'll walk away with an equal cut of the money. But she has to play nice with his eccentric team of thieves. It's a heist there. How can you not want to read it, right? It's a romance so yes, definitely gonna be eyeing that. 19 May 2026, The Shippers by Catherine Santer. Catherine Santer is an author that I discovered in the recent few years, and her rom-coms have been very much a hit for me, particularly like the rom-comers and some other books that I cannot think of at the moment, but they are very good. So this one is about Jojo Burton, who decides to solve her intimacy issues at her sister's destination wedding on a cruise ship. She decides to woo her first crush and first kiss during the cruise, but the problem is her sister's a little busy being the bride, so she ropes in her childhood best friend, Cooper Watts, to be her wingman, who was also the worst heartbreak of Jojo's life. He left house without a word 4 years earlier and moved to London. Is it gonna be a second chance romance? Yeah, it should be, right? Because she keeps talking about Cooper. Yeah. Next is 26 May, Behind Five Willows by June Her. June Her has been writing hit after hit. I read The Red Palace by her and I enjoyed it. I also read The Silence of Bones and I enjoyed it. She manages to write books that make you think that you are watching a K-drama, and it really like immerses you in the vibe. So this one is about Haewon, who is a second eldest daughter of a poor family. Society makes her believe that her only hope of a decent life is to marry well. But then this is during a time of rampant government censorship and book banning. So she works as an illegal book transcriber to make a little extra money. When her older sister becomes smitten with a wealthy young gentleman, Haewon is roped into chaperoning them during their courtship, which wouldn't be terrible if it weren't for the young man's uptight and annoying best friend who also accompanies them, who is called Sojun. He has wealth, he has status, he has respectability, but he loves to write and he loves to read fiction, which he can't do during this time. And he's also the only son of a noble, so it's like scandalous. Only thing keeping him going is the encouraging letters he receives from his transcriber, known only as Magpie. Oh my god, it sounds so cute already. Okay. It's gonna make me feel like I'm watching a historical K-drama. That's about it. Someday Garden by Ashley Poston, expected 16 June 2026. Ashley Poston has been writing hit after hit, including The 7 Year Slip, which went super viral. So this is about Sophie, who plans her escape to Maine for the summer for a temporary job revitalizing the grounds at Lilymore House. But she then falls in love with the land, the flowers, the maze, with the staff, and the woman who owns the place. And then there's this door that appears, and it's never in the same place twice. It leads her to a secret and unfinished garden with a frustrated thundercloud of a man trapped inside. The manor's owner has an inconveniently attractive nephew who is also there for the summer. Oh my god, I don't know who the romance will be between. I'm excited. Okay, Ashley Poston also really has very interesting premises. It's always about a rom-com, but with a touch of magical realism. Like, it's either the guy is a ghost or like some character is a ghost. They're in different timelines. They're in a fictional world, things like that. The creativity of this author is insane. This is a very exciting news for me that I only found out very recently. A Darker Shore, Letters from Ketterdam, expected 30th June 2026. This is a novella, but oh my god, I would take any crumbs the author decides to give us, okay? A novella for the Six of Crows series. In the years since the violent upheaval caused by the auction of Kuwei Yule Bowl, the merchants of Ketterdam have been under attack. Secret businesses have been exposed, ships sunk, slavers hunted as they once hunted their victims. All the work of a mysterious sea captain and her ship, the Reef. And now two investigators meet to uncover the truth behind the latest disaster, a massacre on an island off the shores of Ketterdam. And among the evidence collected is a private correspondence between Tess Brecker and an anonymous sailor aboard the Reef known only as I. Oh my god, I don't think you can see, but I got a bit of goosebumps. I don't think the author will confirm the relationship, but I would love it if the author did. I don't think it was confirmed right after the second book. It was just like they like each other, but then she left to board her ships. It was like a hopeful but open-ended romantic future. June 30th, everybody. Second last one, second book in the Ghosted series, Grim Tidings by B.K. Borison. No synopsis, nothing yet, but I recently finished the first book, which was Good Spirits, and I enjoyed that. So looking forward to the second book as well. I have no idea what could possibly lead to happen in the second story. I don't know. Last book is the third book in the Villains series. So we had Vicious and Vengeful, and then now we have Victorious. Expected 6 October 2026. The Extraordinary of Merit City, a secret group of individuals gifted with a power connected to their manner of near-death experience, have been keeping a low profile, avoiding the ever-watchful eye of Eon in the wake of the showdown with Marcella and Ellie. But when Eon and its relationship to the Extraordinaries begins to change under the leadership of a new director with a terrifying agenda, the time for hiding is over. The path to the truth of what happened to Eon leads Victor, Sydney, Mitch, and the rest into the enemy's lair at Eon headquarters, where they encounter unexpected allies, shocking new abilities, and the ultimate confrontation. This feels very strange and unfamiliar to me because it's been years since I read the two books, so I definitely have to reread the two books before Victorious comes out. I do remember that I was very enamored with the premise and the way that they get their abilities and also the relationship between the characters. So I'm very excited to be back in this world. And with that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you got to see more releases that you may not have known about. There were a few that it's super popular releases coming out next year by different authors that I didn't include because I wasn't particularly excited about them. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel for more of such content. I hope you're having a great day or a great week. Whenever or wherever you're watching, remember to stay hydrated and I'll see you in my next video. Also, if this is coming out in 2026, happy 2026! Happy New Year! May this New Year be a better year for all of us than 2025. Yeah, okay. Bye!